Welcome back, my favorite Python programmers, to a brand new video, and in this one we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So instead of the usual lessons that I have that are very curated and I know everything that I'm going to talk about, in this one what we will be doing is I'm going to look at a way that my students were doing something wrong, and I'm going to show you how to do it right, because it saved my students so much time and it's a very common mistake. So let's go ahead and delve into that. So for my long-time viewers, all 5 of you, you know that this is slightly different than what I do. This is a slightly shorter video, but I'm expanding. I'm making more videos. I have more platforms where I'm posting. You can follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok if you're into that. So you can follow me all over there as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Right here, as you can see, we have this function, which is it's called my_func, and you'll see right here that I have 3 elements that are being returned, which is a string Python, an integer 42, and a list. Something that's very common among the students. They always confuse this comma right here being the same as the comma right here, but no, this comma right here separates the individual elements inside of my list, while the comma on the outside separates the individual elements that are being returned from this function. A quick tip in here: whenever you are returning values like this, where you have multiple values being returned, this is just like a tuple. So as you can see, I've added these parentheses. If I hover over it, it tells me that I need to remove the redundant parentheses because this is a tuple. And we're going to check it out in any case. But anyways, right here, I've defined a function. I return these 3 values and I print out the function, which should print out the return value. So when I right click and I run, boom, there we go. A bit of a bigger font because we don't have a lot to write. I'll make the font smaller if I feel we need more values being printed out. But as you can see, because we have the round parentheses around this output, this is a tuple. And just in case you're not entirely sure, I will type in here and check what the type of the return value, and it's a tuple as well. So we have a tuple being returned. But this is not where most students fall and make the mistake. Where most students make the mistake is whenever they want to retrieve these values. And what I mean by that is, let's say the students want to capture Python, or they want to capture the list 1, 2, 3. What they typically do is the following. I'm not going to type it out. I'm going to copy and paste it. So this is what the students usually do. So they say x equals to my_func, and then they use the index in order to access the values. And this is possible because this is a tuple. So when you access the first element at index number 0, you get Python. And when you access the second element at index number 1, remember the indexes always start at 0, you get the 42, and so on and so forth. And this is not entirely wrong. So if I try to print out x, y, and z, just like that, right click and run, as you can see, I get Python 42, 1, 2, 3. So I was able to capture the values, and just in case this is not like super obvious, I will print them out on separate lines so that you can clearly see that this is x, this is y, and this is z. So we were able to capture the values, but it took us 3 lines, and we were also accessing the different values inside. So this is not the way to do it. A better way is the following. So I will comment out x, y, and z. This is the old way. And I'm going to say that x, y, z is equal to my_func. Now this is a trick that is a huge time saver, and this is called Tole Unpacking. Yep, there we go. So just came to my mind. So basically what happens is we know that this my_func has 3 elements three elements inside of it, 3 items inside of it, inside of its return value. So we know that we can say x, y, z. These are 3 variables that we are assigning to each of the values. So when I right click and I run, boom, as you can see, this also works. So this was a small tip. I don't want to stay too long on this idea, but it's very important for you to know tuple unpacking, because you will encounter a lot of functions that have multiple return values and you will need to send them all over the place. This is a new type of video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can always link them in the, or you can always ask them in the comments below. If you don't know, I have a Python teaching institute where we teach private tutoring. I also have my own course where you can check all of that out in the description. I will be leaving links if you want to work with me. I also have an email where you can send me some questions or ideas, or scenarios like these where you're not sure of the idea but you want an in-depth explanation, you want to understand how things work properly, and you're just looking to get started on your software engineering career, becoming a coder finally, a software developer. And yeah, that is basically it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, share it with your friends, follow me everywhere that is possible, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. Cheers.